points on the compass, the letters flow in to Tahitian NONI International. And mingled with the praise and tribute comes the inevitable question, how do you do it?
Qu'est-ce que le noni et où pousse-t-il?
请问大溪地诺丽公司与大溪地的居民关系是否非常好？
NONI はどのように採取され加工されてますか?
¿Qué lo hace a ustedes diferente de otras compañías?
How do you assure quality in every bottle?
Ist es richtig, dass der Saft weltweit in Flaschen abgefüllt wird?
Hva det som får Tahitian NONI-varemerket til å skille seg ut?
The answers, of course, have their origins on these pristine isles.
What is the Tahitian NONI brand? Well, it begins in Tahiti with our story, and it spreads out from there. T&I created this industry. We are the #1 NONI company in the world, and no one else can say that. We're first in NONI production, first in NONI research, and first in NONI quality. We follow no one. We do not imitate, we create. We do not copy, we innovate. The Tahitian NONI brand represents our passion, our story, our history. It represents the benefits of NONI. It represents our people and our lifestyle. Tahitian NONI is taking its place among the greatest of the worldwide brands. We knew the market would be competitive, so we made a resolve among ourselves that no one would ever out-NONI us. We determined that we would be the leader in NONI products and research forever, and we will never give up that leadership position. Because of all of these things, when you talk about NONI, you can only talk about Tahitian NONI International.
The MORINDA citrifolia plant, more commonly known as NONI, thrives on the islands of Tahiti. The unique conditions found in Tahiti, the rich volcanic soil, the clean, abundant rainfall, the ideal amount of life-giving sunshine make these islands the perfect environment for this remarkable gift of nature. Tahitian NONI International selects specific islands for growing the NONI based on a battery of tests. The soil, the water, and even the air must meet exacting standards. The environment must be perfect and pristine. About the size of a potato, the bumpy green fruit of the NONI tree grows year-round so that a single tree can be harvested every day of the year.
E tupuno tra me roto te natura, me topono me pana te ana te tuho horo mai, e tamatu e whanoni.
This is the very nature of the NONI tree, giving forth an abundance of fruit, of leaf, of seed. It is truly the world's giving tree. On more than 80 separate islands throughout the wide expanse known as the islands of Tahiti, thousands of families tend and nurture wild-crafted NONI trees for Tahitian NONI International.
Hey,
throughout the year, these industrious islanders are visited by T&I's Director of Tahiti Operations, Edward Turaru, and his staff. Tahitian NONI International is unique in all the world when it comes to how they obtain NONI fruit. While others simply source their fruit from nameless brokers and wholesalers, T&I works directly with the growers and harvesters, developing personal relationships that foster trust and friendship.
Te vera tora tumu tiara papu no te hare rai te mo whea whaapu. Tora tō tere no te yeriro no te autaera te ete e matou e te whea whaapu. E hi opua rai tara tumu ohi patoa te hapuane ratu I moara teira o te horai atu I moe ratu.
Tahitian NONI International personally knows the people who grow and harvest the fruit. T&I can trace your bottle of Tahitian NONI juice back to the islands and the harvesters who picked the fruit. No other company in the world can say that. While the environment in Tahiti is perfect and the NONI grows abundantly, it's not easy to grow and harvest NONI for Tahitian NONI International. The company has a strict certification process for both growers and harvesters, ensuring that every fruit, every leaf, and every seed meets exacting standards. T&I was the first company in the world to develop standardized noni harvesting methods and a rigorous certification process. After the noni fruit is carefully selected and harvested, it is thoroughly washed and individually inspected. Only the fruit that passes this meticulous scrutiny moves on to the next phase. The fruit is then placed on curing racks to further the ripening process. In preparation for shipment to Tahiti, the clean, inspected fruit is placed in special drums fitted with a double layer of sanitary liners. Every single drum is carefully examined and weighed. Then each drum is marked with ID information, who harvested it, when it was picked, how much the drum weighs, and a tracking number. All over the scattered islands of Tahiti, cargo ships collect thousands of drums of noni fruit and containers of noni leaves. Then they make their way to Tahiti Nui, the island home of the T&I processing plant. Here on the island of Tahiti, in the small town of Mata'ea, lies a brand new state-of-the-art noni processing facility, capable of processing enough noni to supply the current and future needs of a growing worldwide market. This facility stands as a real and tangible reminder of the investment that Tahitian Noni International has made in the islands of Tahiti. The stringent control which began during harvesting is echoed and even amplified once the drums reach the processing plant in Mata'ea. Opened on April 1st, 2005, and boasting 85,000 square feet of space, this facility is the largest of its kind anywhere in the world. This is where noni fruit puree is created from the raw fruit that arrives from outlying islands. When the drums arrive and the tracking numbers are checked, they are carefully weighed and then opened to inspect the fruit. Each batch begins with the creation of a batch record. This is where the tracking number of every drum of fruit is recorded, and reports are made throughout the processing as quality checks and other testing take place. The inspected fruit is then run through a process called finishing. In the finisher, the seeds, stems, and skins are removed, and the flesh of the fruit is turned into a puree. Then comes a pivotal step. Using the revolutionary Wadsworth Story process, the puree is pasteurized. But unlike traditional pasteurization, this breakthrough method ensures a sanitary product without denaturing the puree. All the beneficial properties of the noni fruit are left intact. This Wadsworth Story process is completely proprietary. It is owned and protected by Tahitian Noni International. Checking, double-checking, and then checking again is the order of the day at the Tahiti processing plant. The end result is a pure and natural noni fruit puree, which is loaded into lined shipping totes. Each of these totes, which hold 230 gallons of puree, is marked with a lot number, the date, and the time of filling, and a composite sample number. The composite sample is critical. Before a tote is sealed for shipping, quality control personnel take a sample and subject it to a battery of purity tests. Only when it meets T&I's exacting quality standards is it ready to ship to bottling plants throughout the world. There is no place in the world like Tahiti. The commitment of Tahitian Noni International to maintain the pristine nature of these islands is unmeasured. Tahitian Noni International runs perhaps the most environmentally friendly industry in the world. With wild-crafted noni trees growing abundantly and naturally, this highly sustainable resource is nourished only by the sun and the rain, no chemical fertilizers. The process of growing and harvesting the elements of the noni tree leaves the environment virtually untouched, which is completely in keeping with the traditions of the islands. The company's presence in Tahiti offers the ideal low-impact, small-footprint approach to local prosperity. Rarely has any company had such a profound influence on an entire country, an entire nation, an entire people. From its ancestral home in the heart of the warm Pacific, the pure and natural noni puree is shipped to bottling plants strategically placed for maximum efficiency. In Guangzhou, China, in Leipzig, Germany, in the Chubu district of Japan, and in Utah in the United States. These are the first of many finished manufacturing facilities positioned throughout the globe, perfectly placed to establish product manufacturing close to consumers. Tahitian Noni International operates many separate facilities, yet each produces the same consistent high-standard product, bottle after bottle.
一点关系都没有，因为无论我们身处世界哪一个地方，我们都是用心去制造我们的果汁。
Here in Guangzhou, every step in the process is done exactly the same way that it's done in Japan, in the United States, and in Germany. The same processes, the same quality control checks, and essentially the same equipment that complies with accepted good manufacturing practices. It's T&I's guarantee that the customer always gets nothing but the best. When the totes full of noni puree arrive here in Japan, just like when they arrive in China or Germany or the United States, quality assurance personnel verify the certificates of analysis from Tahiti. Nothing happens until all the records are checked and verified. Once the tote verification process is completed, the noni puree is hygienically pumped into huge batch tanks, where it is blended with thoroughly tested additional ingredients. Each of these batches will yield 3,500 gallons of finished Tahitian noni juice. When a new batch is begun, quality control initiates a new production batch record.
Der technische Standard ist heute so hoch, dass der Faktor Mensch nicht mehr so wichtig ist wie früher, sodass wir in China, in Japan, in den Vereinigten Staaten oder auch in Deutschland heute Noni-Juice, Noni-Saft mit dem genau gleichen Qualitätsstandard herstellen können.
Once the flavoring process is completed, quality control personnel take samples and test them.
Die Qualitätskontrollen, die wir hier direkt in unserer Firma vornehmen, sind pH-Level. Das sind wir auch in der Lage natürlich zu prüfen. Dann Brix, das heißt Zuckerinhalt der Stoffe und mikrobiologischer Status des Produkts.
After the batch supervisor reviews the quality control checks and signs the release, it's time for bottling. Every bottle is thoroughly sterilized before filling, then the bottles are hot filled at a precise temperature to ensure a sterile environment. The bottles are then capped with tamper-proof seals, labeled, and a batch code is permanently printed on the bottle.
Well, the formula of Tahitian Noni juice is proprietary, so we're not in the habit of giving out the details, but you can tell that it has grape and blueberry juice in it by just a look at the label.
In each of the bottling plants, the same proprietary recipe is used. The choice of grape and blueberry is not an accident. These juice concentrates work synergistically with the noni puree and help increase the antioxidant power of the finished product. And it's a guarantee of quality that Tahitian Noni International can back up. The batch code is an important way to determine that the product in your hand is genuine and authentic, not an imitation. With this number, T&I can trace a bottle of juice back to the bottling plant and the batch it came from. From the batch records, they know which totes were used. From the tote records, they know which drums of fruit were used. And from the drum records, they know who harvested the fruit. This ability to trace the product back to the islands and the harvesters who picked the fruit is a powerful thing. T&I is the first company in the world to create and master this fully integrated process. Once the products are inspected and ready, they are packaged for shipment within regions throughout the world. Customers typically order Tahitian Noni products in advance, over the phone, online, or through independent T&I distributors. The fact is that Tahitian Noni International is the #1 noni company in the world. They are first in research, first in quality, and first in the care and stewardship of the noni plant and the islands it calls home. 10 years and growing strong. This is Tahitian Noni International.